Hello my lovely spectators, Dee Dee here. Welcome to my studio and look at my lovely sign. Anyway, today we are working with a bunch of stuff, but the main focus is going to be Creep on June. So today is my day, June 6th, and I'm on the calendar. So I'm gonna link the calendar and everything else that's pertinent to June, Creep on June 2026, was by Tracy Fox. And so Love Junk Journals. And yeah, so I, I got the kit and I've cut every single little thing out of it, either by hand or through, like I showed you another video that I did that I forgot about my light, guys. Forgot about my light. It's dark. So I started seeing how to put some things together, trying to get some ideas. Like, so let me just show you, like these guys, I used my silhouette, and some of them are a little off. I don't know if that's user error or what, because I don't know. The easy square things are rectangle things that was easily enough to cut. So every single thing is cut, and we're going to make some stuff for today. And I'm going to actually try. I'm going to say it now, because that way you know. I'm going to try to do 3 videos for my day. Now, here's the calendar. Just want to show you real quick. If you go to her website, Once Upon a Creep, Grimwood Tales is the name of the kit. She has it in her Etsy. She has another one that kind of coordinates with it. I haven't printed that one out yet. Trying to stick with the original, but I did already get it because it's so cool. And so if you go, you click on a video, and I'm here. Today is the 6th of June. There are going to be multiple videos going out, and so these are the official people that are collaborating. She did say that there was a couple days that there were going to be more than one video put out. I don't see them listed here necessarily, so I don't know when that transpired. I didn't contact her at all to say that I was going to do multiple videos in one day. June 6th is my day, so this is what we're going to do. So I'm just going to show you right now, and I'm going to set up some of the things to start the first part of it. There is a freebie also that she has on her Ko-fi. Now my printer is losing ink, so it printed it with this funky purple tone, but it's actually a nice brown color. So, but I like this purple tone, so I just kept it. I'm not going to reprint it. I still have to cut these guys out. But again, I have so much already cut out from the original kit that I'm kind of like ready. So, these are the other parts that I'm probably going to bring in. Not limited, but I'm going to have some distress inks, etc. Bringing that in. The trio, probably to use the black soot, some of the browns. I have this forest moss. I have a feeling like there's some green undertones in some of the things, so grim forest, you know, all of that jazz. I received this recently. I did a little whole video on stuff that I received. I'm going to maybe incorporate some of this. I have these, which were in the haul, which are little visuals of newspapers. I kind of have an idea for this. And then I have a couple of stamp sets that I had. This is definitely going to be used. This possibly, I'm thinking, a little gruesome, a little gory. I don't know yet. And then this is for another one of the projects that I'm making. So I just recently got this one. It came with the guy's head cut out, but I'm really looking at this and a few of the other bits and pieces. So what I want to do is I want to create an item that is junk journal, right? So I'm thinking ID cards. You'll see when I take out the bits and pieces. I want to then create cards, like cards from the stuff that's from her digital. And then I also want to do a scrapbook page, right, which is something that I also partake of. So that's why there's going to be 30 videos. I'm not going to have you sitting here for 15 hours, you know, because, you know, my stuff can be a bit. But one of the things that I did was, and when I made this sign for another challenge, right, the Scrappy 8 challenge on Instagram, I really liked how this whole grungy background developed. So I'm actually going to do this gray background to a few pages of this right now, and I'll be able to use that for the bits and pieces to put together what I want to do. So this specifically is using this stamp set. So let's take a look at how I'm going to do that. I'm going to just show you my process. I'm not going to have you sit through the entirety of the thing. I also found these letters that I purchased at a sale, huge sale. Got both packets for $5. Normally they were priced at $7, but the shop was trying to get rid of their stuff. Their things that hadn't sold for like, I guess, a bazillion ages. And when you put them on sale, that's when they sell. But hey, that's what it is, right? So I'm gonna grab some, where did I put the paper? Okay, I'm gonna grab some grayish paper. Okay, so I purchased this gray paper from Amazon. I'm actually liking the quality. I'll put the link in the description, if anything. I'm just gonna grab a few sheets. I know, I grabbed a lot. This is more than a few. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's work with 4. I think 4 should be able to do it. So I'm going to distress those in the same way. I also want to grab another color. I want to grab one of these guys and distress part of it as well. And then, oh my goodness, I have another pack of neutrals that I wanted to kind of bring into the situation. So now this gray here has more of a blue tone, whereas the gray that I'm going to use has more of like a greenish undertone to me. Again, I don't know. I'm making things up as I go along. They also have a light gray here, but I like this one. I also want to grab, besides this, maybe a dark brown. That's what I'm going to use for one of the things. And I think the cream might be a little too stark, but this is what we're going to do. So let me show you what I'm doing, right? So let me do it with the gray, because that's basically the one that I started out the whole idea with. I'm going to also do these, but not with you on camera, because that'd be too much. But I'm sure you guys all know, you just take out your stamps, whatever you're going to use, okay? You can see that I barely clean the ones I have. So what I want to do first is I'm going to take this dauber. This is just a what is this called? A spool from, I think I got these on Temu. Added the foam on the bottom, on the top. So I'm going to take the black first. And I am going to hit up the edging. I'm not going to be too precise with it because I want that grungy. And I know that I may cut into some of this and then I will have to like adjust. So it's just to give me, break the page, right? Because sometimes like, where do you begin? Well, break the page. Hit it with some ink, and don't be worried about what happens next, right? So I do have some round things happening. I'm just gonna kind of go like this for the beginning of what we're doing, right? And I'm just breaking the page. Now it's not clean and new and pristine. It is waiting for more to come. So what I want to do is I'm gonna take this guy, which is this splattery stamp, and I'm just gonna grab it. I'm gonna dab, not even gonna use a block. I'm gonna move it around, drop it, press, drop it, press. There you go. First generation, second generation. I probably could get another one out of it, but I'm just gonna go back and grab some more, drop it, press, drop it. Let's go this way, press. Even when I'm dropping it, if it's making any kind of residual whatever, that's fine. Let's see what a third one looks like. Okay, if it moves, I'm not worried about it too much because, you know, it is what it is. Okay, we're gonna do dropping it here. We're gonna then press there. Notice I'm not necessarily pressing the entire shape, so that I'm not gonna be getting, it's hard to get random. You think you're turning it and stuff, and then you wind up it's looking the same all over. So let's do one more little thing because I'm gonna have to do this there, and then off the page also helps. Off the page here, and let's go up here and add a little bit more of that third generation. That's good. If I want some more, I'll add some more. So I'm done and done. I'm just gonna put it back there all nice and dirty. He's on the computer. The next thing that I have that I used was this guy. These dots. These are so interesting, and they actually bring to mind another item. We're gonna get inky, y'all. Another item that I purchased not that long ago that I plan to showcase. Maybe I'll use it. I'm gonna put it on my Etsy, so we'll hold off. I'm gonna put this into the vintage photo corner, which is the one over here of the 4. Just gonna and turn it around, and again, I'm not using anything particular. Maybe I do want to keep it a little more straight, and I'm just gonna hit it. If it shifts, I'm good with that. We're just adding texture and layers to it. Now this one, I will keep it more or less up and down. I don't think I want to turn it. I could turn it. Wow. Well, let's turn it and see what happens, right? Oh my god. I think I sounded like the chick from Ghosts. The one that lives in the basement, Nancy. If y'all know, y'all know. Anyway, yeah, so we're just gonna add pieces here and there. So I can just do a little bit of it there. I'll turn the page as well. We'll put a little bit over here. Right, then I want to hit some in the center, so I'm just gonna grab that, and yeah, that went to heck with going with it being keeping it kind of up and down, but I guess it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, I need something right here, and then we're gonna go from there. Light. And then this one to the 2nd generation, and then off the page I'm just gonna see if there's any more ink anywhere on any of this and just use it up. So now it's clean. Okay, so we have this. I don't know why I feel like this is up, but it doesn't really matter. There's this little guy. Now I can't do this by hand. I'm not gonna go look for a block, so I have a package of nails here. I'm just gonna use that as a block, and I think we're gonna do the ground espresso to kind of, you know, I'm just gonna put it random and overlap here and there, go off the page as well, and get some musical interlude. Now I should be turning this, but I think I'll just turn the paper, and that'll help me out with the randomness. Okay. And I'll look at it, I think, over here. And then you can always add more. Okay, so that's that little round one. Now, there is a more splotchy one that looks like this. With this one, I'm going to go into the hickory smoke, which is like a grayish tone. I'm only putting it on a little bit. I'm not worried too much about it. And I'm just going to try to hit where I think it might need a little something. And if it looks a little weird, go back and hit it some more. It will have that weird edging, so that's the only thing that I noticed, but it's not that bad of a deal. That's not bad. We're just gonna go over here and add some more grunge in a different tone. So we're using that one ink pad that has the 4 distress colors in it, and we're making this background. Let's put some here, there. Okay. And yeah, we're just gonna we're gonna clean off our stamp, put it back. And then the last thing I have is this little squiggle pattern, and I'm gonna just throw some of that. And I think I want to go back to add a little bit more brown because everything feels very much how do you call it, blacks and stuff. I'll put some over here to overlap. I'm not worried if the whole image is not coming out. That's not, you know, we're going to be layering other things here, so that's going to be a thing. Okay, a little bit here. And let's see here. Feeling that there's a little bit something here missing. So just a little squiggle there, a little bit there. And I think that's it. So just randomly, you know, do whatever. So I'm gonna stop you, put you on pause, whatever you call it. I'm gonna make a few more of these. I'm also gonna do it on brown and those other colors, and get this whole grungy vibe base going. Okay, so the pages are prepped, and I decided to separate everything so that, you know, I can figure out what it is I'm gonna do, because I want to do a few different projects. But like I said, I'm gonna do a scrapbook page, or pages, a, what's it called, some cards, and I'm going to do some junk journaling stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the scrapbook pages, just because I feel like I did the backgrounds and I'll be able to kind of put that together. It's not something that's extremely difficult. I'm trying to stick to the kit and all the elements in the kit. So I've separated everything. So we have some bits and pieces that are decorative. So I'm going to use these in the kit, as well as these little tombstoney things. Now, my printer is not, I don't know, this didn't come out the greatest. It could be my printer, but she has text and fonts words on here, so I will need to address that because some of them are not visible. These are all the labels cut up, ready to go. So they're going to sit here to add a little texture. These guys, although they are fabulous, they're not being utilized right now for the scrapbook. Nor are these cards, nor these cards, not going to be utilized for the scrapbook. And these items are also not going to be utilized. So I'm going to put them to the side, right? So what I am going to be using are these tags that are made. Oh, I forgot to clean the thing. And these guys, which are tags with the different characters. These will be utilized later. And all of these words are the names of the different characters. So that will be utilized later as well. So what I'm using for the scrapbooking is going to be these characters here, these decorative elements, the tombstones, and then some additional ephemera bits, right? Little tiny bits and bobs. So let me show you my papers, right? So look at the papers. I did four gray ones. These two kind of have similar tones in that the same items are stamped the same way. This one's a little bit lighter, different, right? This was brownish, this is black, gray, whatever, and this one kind of goes with that. So I have two that kind of matchy match, two that matchy match there. Here's one of the brown ones. Here's the other dark brown one. And here's my cream one. Okay, so what I'm going to use, I believe, are definitely going to be these two here. Sorry, I'm trying to get them out. These two, for sure. The two of these are going to be my backgrounds. And I was thinking I might use these two as well, but I haven't decided yet. So for now, it's these two. Now, what I was thinking is, I do scrapbooking pages. I generally like to do two page spread. So, let me adjust you so you can kind of see, the page. So I want to incorporate these guys, okay? And I want to incorporate some of these fancier labels. And I will use these little bits to kind of decorate. So what I was thinking was, I am going to put these guys here and there amongst where the photos would go. So I pulled out this black, it reads like a purpley black, maybe charcoaly brown kind of paper, because I want to make like almost a graveyard inspired setting. Especially since these guys have this tag shape, right? I kind of like want to do that, but also because of these. So we usually do a page where we have like a title, right? And sometimes you put the title up here, other times you put the title wherever, you put the title wherever you want, basically. I want to kind of pick out from here, Happy Halloween. So I'm making a Halloween spread. I have a ton of Halloween pictures that I've never. Now I don't know what's in here. I just took them out. They are pretty dense. They're not they're not stickers. Okay, so I got my letters. Now, I'm going to lay out the two for the title and build around the title. So the title is going to be about Halloween. I'm looking at the dots. I kind of want the dots to be up and down facing, even though there may be some that have been placed different. I'm also going to look at how they're situated. When you're using the same type of paper, you don't necessarily want it to be so repetitious. So I might just turn this around and see that, that kind of the same thing is happening there. So maybe I will take this guy and turn this one around. And now this feels a little better to me. So it's not matchy-matchy, but the main browns are feeling good. Now, I want to put part of my title here and part of it here. So I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to do just basically, I'm going to freehand a piece that I'm going to attach my title to. So I'm going to have a piece that's here, and then down here, only because I can turn it over just like that, I'm going to do that. I am going to take a trimmer for the edge to match nicely on the bottom. So I want a straight edge, okay? Something like this. I can always change it later. And I'm going to be using this piece later as part of it, because I'm trying to, you know, get my vision. I'm going to just get rid of this little piece right here so that we have this. Now, I could also add some texture to this, right? And so I can do that. Let me see how this looks when I do this to it. And then I can open this up and see what it looks like. I don't mind that, so I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to just take this bad boy up and really crunch it together. Now, if you've never scrapbooked before and you're looking at this laying, this is like, I didn't know that this was, maybe everything you've always thought of has been like kits and stuff like that. No, scrapbooking can also bring out a lot of creativity. You can have mixed media. You can take this even further. You can spray this and get it a little softer, and stuff. I was thinking of doing some splatters, but right now I think I have enough like visual texture, so I think I'm good. So now I have this. Could I do more? Sure. Am I? Probably not. Now I am going to look for my fuzzy edge because I like that to be forward. So that's going to go here. So I need to do it up here for continuity. So across the two pages, right? And when I have this many, I want to think about the type of pictures. We have access to so many size pictures we can print. We have Ivies that print the 2x3 little ones. We've got the 4x6 general. You can print whatever you want. You can cut pictures as well, which I'm not adverse to. So I'm going to put a selection of picture sizes, even though I don't have the pictures yet, because this is for Halloween coming. I will, you know, when I go through my photos, I will find which ones I can crop and make them correct. So, you know, the pictures do not run you, you run the pictures. So, okay, so this is our thing here. So what I might want to do is, just because, even though it's black, I'm going to just hit this on some of the high spots with whatever's on the dauber, right? Just because, give it some distressing. Crumple it wherever the crumples are. Okay, so I'm going to crumple this bad boy. If it rips, it's fine, it's fine. We're doing grungy Halloween, okay, with this set that Tracy has made. So, and again, if you know the community of crafting and manufacturing and things of that nature, you start doing stuff seasons before. You know, Christmas in July is a thing, right? For a reason, because you want to have things before so that they're ready when it's time to go. Now, it didn't really do much because there wasn't much ink on there, but that's okay. I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to use my tape runner. Okay, which is this guy here, to get my edge down first, right? Being this edge right here. Okay, and then we're going to put it all the way across the bottom here. If I want, I could raise it up a little bit just to have a little bit interest. I think I'm going to do that. A little offset because of the crinkling. That's fine. Let's just try to get, can you see? Yeah. Can you see here? I'm just trying to get it to be kind of, oops, oopsie, oopsie. kind of get it to be there. So embracing the crunchiness, embracing all of that. Now that's holding, and I'm going to be able to add more tape where I need it. So I'm going to put some tape there. I'm going to embrace the crunchy. I'm going to put some tape over here. Okay. And I'm going to leave this open kind of like a pocket in anticipation of having to tuck different things behind it. I can always go back behind there and do some glue. So you know what? Let's just do this part so we can get this out of the way. This is going to have the word Halloween. So I had to actually make some letters. I had to fabricate some letters. So H-A-L-O, and it's kind of bright. I was thinking of knocking it down, and you could try to ink this up, but it's a slick surface, so you would need like a StazOn, I guess, or the archival distress. And where's my N? Here we go. Halloween. Okay. And then this is going to be the other half of my title. So I want to put this over here. Now, the one thing I was thinking about was taking out my little chomper, my chomper, because if you look, a lot of the tombstones have this kind of edge. So I'm thinking of doing that on some of them. So let's, well, not some of them, on them. So let's see how that looks. Okay, I think that will look cool. So we're going to do that on all of them, and I'm gonna have little bits of triangles. It's pretty thick. It's chipboard, but it feels like how not construction paper, cardboard paper feels. Like it has like bounce or cushion, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I don't know. So yeah, so, and then we're also gonna attach this, and we're not gonna necessarily leave it flat, right? We add dimension. We're going to add some dimension. We have dimensional foam over there. So we're going to do that. So we're going to have like a combo. So look at that. It's a scrapbook page. We have a tag shape, but hey, okay, on the floor, I'm going to have housekeeping, the hubby, do that. You know what? I want to see what it looks like if we hit it with some ink. Okay, there we go. I just rubbed it in there a little bit. Yeah, just to get the white edge, because yeah, that's a habit now, right? We don't like the white. It's actually not bad with the archival. So what I could also do is over here, because it's how do you call it? It's the ground, right? Some of those tombstones with those sayings we can actually kind of put down here as well. So we'll ink up a few of those, and we'll do some layering. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to add was the year. So I know you're usually ahead of time, but I want to make it a point to kind of maybe do some fun stuff this year for Halloween. Since I've moved to where I moved, I've been isolated. I've only come back and forth for work, and even now my physical constraints are just not making that a thing that's easy for me. So we're going to take some of the interesting ones, right? We're just going to ink some of them up. Okay, I'm not even looking at what they're saying. I'm going to take a few. Is that the same exact one? Because I printed this twice. Oh, no, it looks the same, but it has different sayings on it. Not that I could read it well. And like I said, we are going to layer. So let's see how many more. Just odd numbers. We got 4, 5. Thing is fuzzing already. 4. Okay, 5. Let's do 7. Okay, and let's do this one here. Number 7. Okay. And we're going to take the rest out of our way. And now we're going to put this together. So we're going to put our Halloween. Okay, so we're going to do something like that. We're just going to whatever. So let's get a combination of adhesive and foam adhesive. Where's my foamies? I actually have some black foam adhesive, which is cool because, you know, it won't be that visible behind. But also remember, most of the time, it's kind of thick. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do a thinner one. Just got these in Temu. They're strips as well, but they're not as thick. So we got this. We're gonna use some of that. Okay. And where's our scissor? We're gonna take this. We're gonna see about how wide they are. And we're gonna just go in from that. I'm just gonna rip that off and hopes that's gonna be good enough. So we're gonna put on every other, or just randomly, I'm gonna put some here. Where's the adhesive? Ugh. Here it goes. Okay. All right, let me put some adhesive on and then we'll see where I laid them out, because you don't want to watch me do that. Okay, so we did our numbers and I put the titles on, and I just wanted to get the dust over here. But here's page 1, Creep On Halloween. So paying homage to, you know, the fact that this is part of the Creep On June series, and this kit is perfect. Now, of course, I didn't get the words from her. Kit, meaning Tracy, but she did have the word Halloween in there once in all of her labels. And so I figured, you know, I could use it for Halloween. Why not? So now let's talk about what other things. So I have the other numbers that I picked out. So like creepy numbers, right? And then I also pulled out another. Where's the thing? Oh, here it goes. She has this little book in there. So you could make it like look like a book. There's an outside to it as well, a back page to it. But for me, when I started scrapbooking, we always had a spot to kind of write something. That's how I was kind of trained, I guess, into it. So I want to include that on the page someplace that we can have some information. Now, the other thing that, you know, I did before on the other page was made that little pocket situation, right? Well, guess what? We're going to do the same thing here. You can have other spots for information being, you know, like more journaling, receipts from the day, things of that nature. You know, we do, that's the whole thing with scrapbooking. You also collect ephemera. So I'm going to put this bad boy right here. We popped up. So this is for 2026. We've got this side. Now, we're going to be able to put in whatever we want here. So we can put little cards. Why not use the cards that we have in the kit? So we have a bunch of cards here that we could easily include in here and tuck just like we would do in a journal in order to have some place to write. Okay, we could even use some of the ones that are like this. They were meant to be folded. I could cut them in half easily. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with that. This was the back of that. We can include that here. She made some folders. We can fold these up and stick them in there as well. Any one of these items would be lovely in this particular pocket. I think I'm going to include that, and I'm going to put one of these cards for some added je ne sais quoi, right? Plus, we're not done yet, guys. We're not done. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get my punch. I'm like digging, having edges. Different. Where's the punch at? Where's the punch at? Yeah, okay, this is the tag one. I don't want a tag. I don't want round. Where's the other one? Oh, here it goes. I want something a little more fun, which I don't think that's going to work on this one. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to stick with rounded. Can I even do rounded? I can do tiny rounded. Okay. Let's just round this bad boy a little bit. Okay. So, rounding is okay. I like it. I'm particularly like this one and this one. I like to use this. This one is like one of my favorites. Of course, the tag and the round are like the go-to standards, I guess. So we're just gonna hit up the edge again, like we did, to just knock it off. Even though it's not something that normally is done, but we're talking from the great you know, that exactly. That's kind of like, you know, what's happening here. I'm losing my train of thought, or my age is just catching up to my my brain is not braining. Okay, so we're gonna fold this guy up, okay, and we're gonna look and see how that looks in terms of whiteness. So you can still see it. I'm gonna dab one more time into that black soot. and I'm just gonna hit up the edges so that it's not so obvious, but the person's, or myself, because it's from my scrapbook, is going to be able to kind of go in here. Now what's different in a scrapbook than an album, well, one, you know, a scrapbook is picking selected. So maybe you take a billion photos that day, you know, and so now you are just picking out the certain ones that are the most important, the most inspiring, whatever the case is. I'm gonna take the word Halloween and put it on this album here. Like, I don't need to tell you over and over again that it's Halloween, but if I feel like it needs a cover, it needs a little something in the cover right there. Okay. And with the journaling, I feel like if I'm gone, you know, or the person's gone, then guess what? They can still see what was happening and get the jive of what the person was experiencing on this Halloween because they have this. So we've used a couple of her pieces. I also wanted to add some of these elements to add some color. So up here, I'm going to add a couple of things. Maybe these two layered. I also like the bat, to kind of put a bat somewhere. Oh, I could put him here. Nah, that's all right. Nah. Let's see, what else can we put? I also liked these because it gave to the gold, so I kept these out. So now we start thinking about how we're going to build the rest of our pages, right? And so we want to put these elements. So I definitely like those two together. So we're going to just put our glitter glue right there. I'm going to take my pieces of banner. I'm going to layer them like this. Okay, first, and then once they are nicely aligned, right, I already inked them before too. We're going to just put adhesive on the back, okay? And I'm going to place that up here in this corner. Okay, so we're doing one side at a time. All right, now we think about the fact that this is going to go in here and here, okay? And I'll leave it a little bit untucked because, you know, I could make it a full pocket. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I want to make it a full pocket because this flapping thing is getting on my nerves. But that's okay. We have our little pieces popping out, sticking out right there. And so we can actually also write something here. We've got our creep on, our title there. Hopefully I'm in the screen, I think so. And we've added a little bit of here. We've got birds, we've got stars. We can add a little star just for decoration. We can add a little one of these arrows that she has just to add some whimsy to it. I think I'm going to put a little star right down here just because on the edge there. I don't know, it looks cutesy. Okay, and then for down here, I think I might just put these guys, but I think I'm going to pop them up. We like a good poppage. Where's my strips of popping? So we're going to put on this one. I think there's 3 or 4 arrows in here. Yeah, she's got some straight arrows and she's got these twisty ones. I'm going to use, I inked everything, but I think I'm going to use the straight ones right now. Okay. We could also put this as here, there, so that we can have that we need to look inside there. That's an option. We'll see how it goes. We could put another star just for argument's sake. I think I'll do that. Let's turn these guys over. Let's add our strippies. I'm just going to cut it down some more. They fit perfect on the middle section. And where's the other one? This one here. Just like that. Okay. And then we're going to put the glue on this star, and we're going to put the star over here on this corner. We still have the space to write. Okay, we're going to do that there. And then because, you know, the rule of threes and the visual triangle and all of that good stuff, let's take another star for the argument's sake. And let's put it, so what we're going to do is, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the card. I don't know, I feel like this is up. I'm going to put this star here on the edge, right? Now on the back, you see it. I'm going to take the other star, and it's going to make it like a little tab to pull on that. So I will not have one little star randomly floating around in my stash. They're all being utilized. And just because, let's hit the backs of this. So it has a little whimsy. A little whimsy, yeah. Okay. So we've now made our little star topper, but it gives us that visual triangle. These guys we'll use on the other page possibly. Let's set these guys up. So we're gonna put them down here. So let's see. Yeah, so I'm gonna put one down here. Can you see? Yeah. I can see my fingers wiggle in the screen, so I know I'm like, can be visible. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that guy in the middle because these two are very close. I'm gonna put this one first, the one on this side. So this helps to kind of make things seem a little more centered. So I know how high up I want and where that is. So now that's there. And now I can put that guy and have a better frame of reference. Hopefully they're leveled and they're not going because I'm working off of an angle. Okay. Okay, so we've got some background. So then what we're going to have to do is cut out a piece of matting, or where the photo could be here, and then like a photo that could be here. So I'll do that in a few. We're just doing some decoration and kind of doing some planning. So let's talk about here. Let's bring the next one, because now we have a whole nother set of things that we can do. Now on this page, we have some of these. We could add more of these, but remember we also have the people, these critters, which I kind of feel like I want to include some critters over here behind as part of this situation. Where is it? There's two that are square. I feel like the dudes are squared off and the females are not. So weird. So we've got our frog ladies. We've got the wolfie. This a little bit sticky, but that's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll have this one here, this one there. I can put this one there. Okay. And 5, I guess. We can just do that. We can just do those 5, right? Okay. Now we could treat them as actual cards, right? Or we can include them in what we're doing. I like her. I think you know what? I think I'm gonna change this up, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna change this up. I like her. She feels like that's where she belongs. We're gonna work these guys back into this, but I think I want to go with this. You know, and that's the thing. What's that thing they call it? Auditioning? I don't normally use that phrase. That's something that I've heard through a lot of junk journalers say that they're auditioning. Now, I'm just gonna glue her down. I'm not making her a tag or anything like that. She's just living there. She's living her best life right there, because that's where she wants to be. That's what she told me. That's what she wants to be. So we're just gonna put a lot of good adhesive on there, and I am gonna make sure that she is kind of in line with that. Okay, now I'm not making her a tag. I'm not putting a topper or anything like that, and I still have the spots right there to do that. Now I took some of the letters. I wanted to add, not the letters, the numbers. I took the number 6s out and the 9 probably, and I took out 13s because, you know, spooky number 13s, right? So I can add them someplace. So I need to figure that out as well. The 666 can go maybe on the other page. I'm not sure if there's space for it. There's a lot of gold top and bottom. There's no gold up here on the top, so maybe we just use one of them. I kind of feel like I want to use the 666 over here, just because. And the 13s can get sprinkled in. So all I did was I ripped them, right? It was kind of hard because they have like a plasticky. And then even though it has this little wipe, I dunked them into the green moss. So there's a little bit of a greenish hue to that. So we're going to do that. Let's play with these guys and put the 666s up there in the corner. Okay. Now I could also add a banner situation, right? Let's see before I do that. Let's look at that. Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I put the banners like this? There's another one of these guys. Let's use the stripy ones. The small one here. Okay, and then can I put like a 6-6 6. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay. She got glue on it, so she's going to start us. She's going to keep us holding together. Look at that. So we're building clusters on our pages. That's basically what we're doing. So nothing's going to get no poppage. We're just going to put adhesive everywhere that we see that we need adhesive, right? Oh no, they fell apart. That's okay. We need some adhesive over here and here to kind of go with that. All right. So let's hold it back up together. And did I want it like, no, I wanted it like this. Okay, and then the 6 has to go somewhere like that. Yeah, some creepy little cluster like that. Nothing crazy. Nothing too finished or perfect. These lines have to be perfect, but not the other ones. So that's going to be there. We're going to put that there. Smush that here and bring this guy down. He's a little high off the page. Okay, and we're just going to press it down. And we'll add in some adhesive if we need to. So I have a little cluster over here. And we're going to just add some more adhesive so things can stay and not fall off. All of that good stuff. Okay, and then even under here. No, that one's good. Okay. The more grimy whatever, the better, because this is a grimy little situation. So now what I'm thinking is that I do want to include these guys, but I think maybe we put them next to the different pictures. So I might want to do the smaller set. Okay, so for me here, what I think I want to do is I want to do 4 mini pictures there. So let me go cut some matting and I'll be right back, and then we'll lay out the rest of what we got going on. Okay, so I've cut a bunch of 4.5 by 4.5s so that I could do a 4x4 photo. So that's this, guys. And 2, I don't know what I'm going to need, but I'm going to distress the edges a little bit just to give it a little something, right? I gave myself a 1/4 inch around the photo to kind of, you know, what do you call it? Matting of the photo. And I can always cut them down slightly more to kind of show and reveal whatever. So we're just going to distress up the situation right here. Okay, so we've got this 4x6. I don't even know what's going to go where. I just cut a few mats, and then we'll figure out the placement, and then we'll adhere them. And so, I don't know where my distress tool is. Somewhere. I don't know where. Okay. So, I mean, these will look wrinkled. They'll match that over there. But we'll get this down nice and flat for sure, when we get to put them in their final homes. So, we're just distressing. That's a little aggressive, but I don't mind. Okay. So, let me finish up and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody's distressed. I think I know where I want them to be, but I think I want to add one more little detail here. So, I have a gold pen. So, let's start with the left side page, right? So, here's where our title begins. Here's where we have most of our journaling spots. And this I could still cover. I may want to put maybe a critter there. I'm not sure. But I think what's going to fit best here is going to be like a 12x12. Not a 12x12, a 4x6. And then a 4x4 here. So I'll put them like this and I'll kind of see what I like in terms of the placement, right? So we want them to kind of maybe be like this. I'm looking at it. So I have space over here and I have space over here for something. I could also put them separate like that, right? Then I would have space on that side. I could bring this one down. I will have space up here. But before I do any of that, I'm going to turn this bad boy over. And I'm going to just add some gold because there's gold. So just like the idea of where the picture should go, I'm just adding a little detail. Nothing serious, just freehanding. You know, and then I know this is going to be a 4x6, so I think I want a disorientation. Well, we'll wait on that. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. This. And again, if the picture winds up covering it, I could close up, you know, make the picture a little tighter and crop it a little bit tighter. That's all. But I have the intention. So let me just get these guys, right? So we're just adding another little detail. Some people I know in the past have actually fussy cut out pictures. I did that once. It's not my favorite, but that's something that you could do as well. You could fussy cut out the critters with the other critters and put them all together in a frame as if they were together out in the wild. That's an idea. So there's a lot you can do in terms of this kit as a scrapbooker too. So, you know, that's fun. It's all fun and games. I like to do scrapbook pages for friends who would not normally, and family members who would not normally. So I'll do the page, I'll highlight them, whatever the event was that they decided to share the photos with me, or, you know, I'll Facebook steal them. Wink, wink. And then I'll just send them, you know, go to visit. When I go to visit, I wind up giving them a scrapbook page and a frame for their walls. Okay, so I was contemplating putting this one like this. That's why I was thinking about it. And maybe putting this guy here. I think I like that better. So I can put a little more of Tracy's imagery here. So what we're going to do is we're going to then remind ourselves that this is a 4x6. I know I'm not going to fussy cut. So, and this is a 4x4, right? So if you know someone that you want to give them, and you can put a little post-it with it empty and gift them a scrapbook page that you've made for a specific event. Let's say you do something for somebody's wedding and it's like, whatever, it's beautiful. And, you know, hey, they don't know what to put there. You let them know what goes there. And so you put it on a post-it, or like me, I know I'm going to put a full sheet of a picture. I'm not going to worry about it being written on. So then I'm just going to make sure this is nice and solidly placed. Okay, there we go. And then this bad boy is going to go over here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get some tape. We're going to put some tape. A good amount. I'm leaving it not off the edges because the edges have been roughed up. So I still want to have that look of 3-dimension right there. This I'm looking at because people do. And then looking to see how these two look together. They're a little too close. So I will kind of try to make both sides happy. Okay, and then I could come back in here and I can grab, here's where I could put our little critters, right? And add some people here. I think that's what I would do. I could also stick in there another tombstone or two, right? I think she has one that's kind of, does she have one that's blank? I'm not sure. Okay, so we'll do that in a second because we do have to ink them, right? If it's sticking up and you're not liking that, then I'm going to just get some glue because I already laid it down. I'll put some glue. So, okay. So here's one side. We're not done. Let's lay out the other side. So on the other side, we have this going on. We already laid her out because, I don't know, she was calling to me. So I have 3 of these, and these are all 4x4s. So a reminder for myself, or if I gift this to someone. Because my daughter's 18. We used to do every single Halloween until the vid hit. And then it was just like crap, you know. So I have one side that's really straight. And then I have this side where I'm kind of doing like a mishmash. I don't mind that kind of thing. So now you see that I'm kind of layering it down. Here's the key. Just like when we do tuck spots, I'm going to put this one down first. Because it is the one that is furthest in the back. Okay. Now you could make these pockets and tuck spots. That's a possibility. So we're going to put this bad boy down like this, right? Okay, then I'm going to do this again, right? And I'm going to have this like this. Now this picture might, so we're not going to put adhesive all the way to the edge. So we're not going to put adhesive there. I dropped my tape runner. Let's go back. And we're just going to put adhesive up to where we're doing that. Now, the reason being is that we're going to put a photo in there after the fact, and we don't want to have it be obscured by the other thing. So, see, just like that too. So now my photo could tuck under here, and then the other photo could tuck there, and it's a little overlap. And the same thing over here, right? I think this one's a little too high. Am I gonna get lucky? Can I get it off here? I guess that's good when using tape. I don't look at how it looks in the back. It's okay. We'll cover that with something. Yeah, it was a little too high for my liking, because I also wanted this to be tucked a little bit here. So I want to have a little triangle there. So we're going to tuck that down there, and we're not going to put anything on this corner to obscure when we go to put our picture in there. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Okay, just lifting that up. So now all of our pictures are in place. So we've made a 2-page layout with 5 potential pictures. Okay, and here's where we can now do a little more of the decorating, right? So I've got the numbers. I don't think they go with that. I've got some words. We still have some banners. I kind of want to have a vampire bat right here. And I'm going to do the same thing as before. I'm putting adhesive just on the belly. And I'm just going to pop them there. So when you tuck your photo there and you tuck your photo there, it's not going to make, it's not going to obscure what's going on there. I know there's another little vampire bat I took out. Yes. So we'll put the other one up here to cover that little rippy poo that happened. And this one you can glue down. I can glue down completely because it is covering, it's on paper. It's on the regular paper. Okay, now I did want to include critters, right? More critters. So let's take a look at the ones we have here. And let's look at the ones we have that are smaller. I think this big one is beautiful focal point. We also have space to put more of a tuck in here. So we could put more information, more journaling spots in there. So we'll look at that and add one in there as well. Let's see, what can we do? Anything that we want to put down, we're going to put down in that idea with not having that little tuck, right? So if I wanted to put her here to juxtaposition to her, I can do that. So let's see. They work together well because of the coloring, I think. So we might put her there. And let's see if we can stick one more in here on this page. And this will be... like there's too many. Oh, the green one is cute. Let's see. Maybe we put the green one over here with the fox, so we're not, you know, up there. And then we have the little mouse. Where can she go? I think that might be it. Just these two. So this one will not be able to get adhered completely down. This one we did. So let's ink the edge on this one so we get rid of that whiteness. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing, which is we're just gonna ink. We're just going to glue down the part that is not, so we're not going to glue this side down. We're just going to glue down this half. Okay, because we want the picture to be able to slide in below the image, right? And so again, I'm going to look and see where I want to put her. Okay, making sure she's straight here and this. And so this is open. Yes, there we go. So this is pretty much almost done. I want to put something, another little piece to write on. So let me go back to her stash of things. I could take another one of these cards because why not? They have different things on them. They're also different tones. Let's see here. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could also take one of these guys, which is cute too. Let's see, something that does have the same coloring, and I could just tuck it in. And it's a journaling card, and they could add some journaling to it. Let's see here. Yeah, you know, I think I like the browns in that one, so we can do that. Can't really tell what it is. And let's see if we have another one with some greens maybe in it. I like, how about this one? Right? How do those look? I think this one now doesn't, that one bothers me. All right, we're not using these here. This one, maybe this one. How about this one over here? I feel like I wish there was something more green. I don't know. I don't know. This one? No. Maybe this one has some green. Maybe these two. I think those two, so that they both look disparate, like they're not kind of with it. So let me grab a little bit of ink on my little dauber just to knock off the edges, and literally you're just going to tuck them in there because they're going to be for remembrance and journaling of the event that happened. Okay, and then I'm just, the flakies of these things are horrible. So this side is done. We're going to go revisit and decorate a little bit more on the other side. And then I'll try to go doot, 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 and show you. Okay, so we've got these two here. Okay, like that, I think. And that side is done. Let me bring back this side. We need to add something here. I think we need to add some critters on here as well. I like her. And let's see. Gentlemen's are more like this, right? More square. Do I have the other one? He's facing the same way. It's the same dude too. I like him. You know what? I'm gonna take her, and I'm gonna add a couple of these headstones around her. I think that would be interesting. Okay. Decisions, people. You know what? I'm gonna take this one and this one. So the parent and the child that's running away from home. No, she's not running away from home. She's not. I don't know what she's doing. I know that all of these have fairy tales behind them. I think I like this one. She looks a little more youth, like a little one, right? And then let's see here. Maybe a big one instead. So these two, nope, they're facing the same way. Like little things like that, right? Yeah. Oh, here we go. I'll take that one because facing the opposite direction. Okay, and then we're gonna get one more tombstone. Let's just grab another shape. Okay, one of these right here. There we go. All right, so let's ink up everything, and then we're gonna be done. And hopefully you've enjoyed this. You know, it's something different on my channel, but I've done scrapbook pages before. But I think, you know, maybe this is something you haven't done, but a lot of the skills that you have from junk journaling, they can apply. And they'll make something that is super cute. I think this is adorable. No, it's cute. I like it. I love it, actually. I think it's come out. I think I've missed doing scrapbooking pages for like a while. I think I did a lot more prior to the vid. My daughter was young. We did her birthday every single year until she was about, what, 10, 13. And then it was like we dressed up. Me, myself, and her. We dressed up during Halloween, and we went and did our little Halloween shenanigans. Took her real quick, but then we went to the movies. That was our jam. So we're going to place her here and place this one. Let's place them like this. And then we're going to put some tombstones around like that. Hide me so that the old witch cannot find me, or she does, she'll pick my bones and bury me under the marble stones. Oh my god, that one we can actually read. Let's look for another one. Nibble, nibble, little mouse who is nibbling at my house. Okay, you know what? I'm going to change that one out. Because these are my... Whoa, is that a mouse? This is a mouse. That's what? I don't know what the hell that is. Fox? Mouse? Squirrel? They're related. They're all rats. They're all rats, kind of. Alright, so we're going to place this one down. And the other thing I like to do is I know I'm going to place this down here. Okay. Alright, because we're not really concerned with what that one says. Where are my foamies? I'm going to actually take some foam and make sure that it doesn't lay flat. So half of it's flat, and then the other half has that little puppage. It's subtle, but it's there. It's subtle, but it's there. Okay. And then we said this one's going to be here, so we're going to do the same thing over there. We're going to put this one like that. Okay. Yeah. So let's glue that one down. We'll leave this one flat. Okay. And then we're gonna take this one, put it there. Okay, so I think we're gonna do that whole poppage thing on this bad boy as well. So just a little bit on the bottom, and then we're gonna grab let's grab one of these guys. Okay, she's a little bigger, and I don't want her to fall down in terms of like poppage. I know, making up my own words, guys. I'm making up my own words. We're gonna just put that here. Ah, this is sticky. Not bad, Timu. Not bad. Okay, put this there. Okay, just gonna pop up a little bit. And then we're gonna do the same thing on her. So let's take the other piece of foamy and we're gonna place it up here. Okay. Come on, off my finger. Okay, and then we're gonna do our glue. And we're gonna tuck her there. And she's gonna pop a little bit. And then we're gonna put this guy in the center, but we can see the entire thing. So I think we're also gonna pop up the back, the top of it. Not the back, the top. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're having problems here. Now I have all these words on the side which can be placed throughout the scrapbook page. So that's something that can also be an added little decorative element. So I don't know if we need it. I think I'm going to leave it off. You tell me in the comments if you think I should have added more of the words to the pages. And yes. Okay. So we're going to put this here enough that it's behind there. And a little bit crooked like that. So now we have this little cluster here. We've got our thing here, our arrow. This is the first side of our page. Here's page 1. We also have the numbers. We can put numbers on here, but I don't think it's necessary. There's a lot of gold, so we may leave that for another time. So here's one side. I know this video has been long, guys, but it takes a while to make a scrapbook page. And here's our other side. And so we've got 2 journaling cards. We've got this big pocket for ephemera. Things left over from the event. Maybe put one of your wrappers or something from your trick-or-treating or whatever the case is. And you've got, you know, quite a number of places that you can add information. So you can have your favorite Halloween decorated house. You can have yourself in your costume. And then you can have different points of when you were actually trick-or-treating. If that's your thing. If not, hello, it's a party. Here you have whatever, a group of friends, your costume, you talk about the evening, you tuck the invitation that you had to the party, and then just party pictures. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I've really missed doing scrapbook pages, and I don't know if you can see them both in the same shot, but this is a 2-page layout using Tracy Fox's Creep on June kit. The Grimwood, right? Oh my goodness, I forgot the name of the kit. Oh no! I think it's Grimwood, right? Grimwood Tales. So please go back and see the other people that are, go and check her calendar on day 6. So there are at least 5 other people officially doing, not officially doing it through Tracy's collaboration, but there are a lot of people who are doing these things. And I'm going to be doing 2 more projects that'll be posting today too. So this will be my first one. And yeah, look out for some other stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later today.